Hey guys, it's Beauty Queen and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over some decluttering tips because I have been on a decluttering journey and I wanted to share some tips because I went in with I can't get rid of anything to now being able to be like, I don't need that, throw it. So, my first bit of advice would be to start small. Don't just look at a whole room, for example, because you will start to feel overwhelmed, especially if this is your first time decluttering or if you have a hoarding tendency and there's a lot of stuff. This could be your own house, someone else's house that you're doing who has passed away, whatever the circumstances. So start small. Focus maybe on a drawer in the kitchen or a trunk drawer, a small shelf, or even just a small area of the room instead of looking at a whole room. It will help to feel less overwhelmed. Number 2 would be to sort and categorize. Use around 3 boxes: a keep, donate/sell, and trash. I use 4, so I did a keep, donate, sell, and then trash. And those 4 boxes became like 8 and so on as I was doing it because I need multiple boxes of each one. I did write on each box what it was so I would remember and not get them mixed up and then go crazy. And then as you go through the items one at a time, place them into the box that they correspond to. You could follow the 80-20 rule. So 20% of your belongings 80% of the time. If you haven't used something in the last 6 months, it's probably safe to let it go. I did not follow this rule, but it is one that some people find really helpful. Another one some people find really helpful is 1 in and 1 out. So for every new item you bring into your home, you need to commit to getting rid of one. Again, I didn't do this because to me, I would take that quite literally as if I brought 1 pen into the house, I would have to get rid of a pen and I would go crazy doing that. But there are some ways to do it. One I did do was a daily 10-minute declutter. So just spend 10 minutes a day decluttering one small area. Over time, this does add up. I did this for the first week when I was first getting into my groove, and also with Victoria Rose, her coming in and seeing what I was doing, it was easier to do 10 minutes. But then I worked up and I tackled the rest of the room in a day. But we don't talk about that because I did lose some things that I probably shouldn't have because I can't find the charging cord and it's gone. I don't want to buy a new one. Tackle sentimental items last is my 6th tip. These are typically the hardest things to declutter. So starting with a less emotional category like clothing or kitchen utensils is going to be easier than tackling things like family photos and things like that. Set yourself realistic goals. Aim for progress, not perfection. You could set a goal to declutter a room a week or even just an area a week. For example, of an area, if I was looking at a room as my lounge room, the area could be behind my couch, for example. So that's where I keep things like my photo albums, cords, and just miscellaneous items that I probably don't need in here, but they're in here anyway. Digitize. Scan important documents, photos, and even other paper items that you want to keep to reduce physical clutter. Obviously, things like passports, birth certificates, that sort of thing, that wouldn't work for. But there will be things you could digitize if you so desired to not have heaps of paper stuff. If you want to keep the paper stuff, that is totally fine, obviously. For photos, get photo albums, important paperwork or whatever. You could get a filing system, either a filing case, or one you could just have like a little pulling out one with the, yeah, you work it out. But those are some things you could use to reduce the clutter everywhere and simplify it to less clutter, making it easier also to find. Limit storage space. Avoid buying extra storage bins as a solution. Instead, focus on reducing the number of items you own. And then number 10 is, if you have kids, involve the kids. So teach them to declutter their toys and belongings regularly, which can instill organizational habits into them and also make your life easier if they're doing it themselves, but it will also set them up for their future. Obviously, Victoria Rose is 3, so this was a lot harder. I did most of my decluttering before her 3rd birthday too, but we have some more coming up. And we're about to tackle her toys, and she's not going to be happy chappy. But it's definitely a good way to sort of introduce it. I had her in with my stuff, and I was handing her things and telling her which box to put it in. She was putting it all in the box and things like that, just to get her involved and kind of starting to understand what was going on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.